Protests broke out across the country this weekend, with demonstrators marching at more than 1,000 separate anti-Trump events in cities and towns, venting frustration with the administration's mass government layoffs, immigration roundups, and tariff disruptions. Now, it's not clear how much of that President Trump witnessed. He's been in Florida since Thursday, competing in a golf tournament at his resort there. The White House told reporters the president won his second-round matchup of the Senior Club Championship on Saturday and advanced to the championship round earlier today. Now, we do expect to see the president arrive here at the White House later this hour. We may hear from him if he talks to reporters when he gets here. When he does arrive, Brian, he's going to have to deal with a simmering conflict between two of his top advisors, Elon Musk and trade advisor Peter Navarro. Over the weekend, Musk posted disparaging comments on social media about Navarro, who is one of the authors of the president's tariff strategy. Of Navarro, Musk wrote, "A PhD in econ from Harvard is a bad thing, not a good thing." And then in an appearance on Fox News, Navarro pushed back, saying he's simply protecting his own interests, as any business person would do. And then there's this: billionaire hedge fund manager and Trump supporter Bill Ackman taking to social media to urge Trump to call a tariff timeout tomorrow. He writes, "The president has an opportunity on Monday to call a timeout and have the time to execute on fixing an unfair tariff system. Alternatively, we're heading for a self-induced economic nuclear winter, and we should start hunkering down." Now, that drew a blistering response from economist Nouriel Roubini, who said Ackman had been, quote, brown-nosing the president, who Roubini calls a lunatic and a fascist. Roubini writes, "Only now, when your personal wealth is at risk of being wiped out, you are coming out and complaining about his tariff policy and distancing yourself from it when you were fully supporting it till 4 days ago. So you are a shameless hypocrite." Protests broke out across the country this week.
Hey guys, there were over 12,000 hands-off protests yesterday, and this one was in Chicago. Chicago did not come to play. They came out. The Dems in Chicago are massive. This is crazy. Check out Boston, Massachusetts, man. They did not come to play. And these are anti-Trump protests, anti-Elon Musk protests, guys, all around the country. This is Boston, Massachusetts alone. Wow. Now check out Washington, D.C. Check out Washington, D.C. Over 100,000 people came to Washington, D.C., y'all, to protest. They came, they got dropped off on buses, and they called that man the Silicon Valley billionaire mafia. Elon Musk, the Silicon Valley billionaire mafia. What the fuck? This is Washington, D.C. Look what Los Angeles did for Donald Trump. They talking about we the people versus the billionaires, guys. And this is in Los Angeles. Look at that. Look at that. And even New York City showed up. Look at New York. Filled the blocks up in New York. And this right here was funny as fuck. So fucking funny, bro. This is Chicago. Look at Chicago, man. But look at all these states, man. Boston, New York, Chicago, Portland. Hey, guys, there were over
all liberal states. Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noah's in the gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Man, the world is rising up, man. Okay? People rising up. They getting fed up, all right? These tariffs Trump has put on damn near 160 countries. He's basically put tariffs on the entire world. And people at the point of saying enough is enough. Okay? And, you know, we've been saying it through the spirit, you know, which when we say things, you know, people just takes it with a grain of salt. It's not anything to definitively consider. They were actually the men of the Lord, and we're speaking these things because it's inspired through the spirit. But the likings of Chicago, because Chicago is a city that's filled with liberals and weird people anyway. Same thing with New York, Utah, Boston, Los Angeles. Even in Kansas City, I think you had some protesters in Kansas City as well regarding these Trump tariffs. But people at the point now, they're like, look, we're tired. Enough is enough. Something needs to change. And we've been saying for some time that what would it take to rouse you Babylonians up? Because you don't ever seem to be roused up about any damn thing. As long as you have your bread in circuses, you cool. But now they're talking about Trump's trade war threatens a global recession. And they use the word recession because they don't like to say depression. Because when you mention depression, people start to kind of bug out. They freak out, and then it goes back into the PTSD of 1929, the Great Depression. Okay? Which later on down the line, hence World War II. But regardless of that, we're seeing a systematic collapse as the globalists spoke of the Great Reset going back to 2023, 24 in Davos. They mentioned a Great Reset. And I mean, they straight up told you, they gave you the playbook as to what they was getting ready to do. But to show you how stupid people really is because if they paid attention to what the prophets were saying, and they was listening to actually from the horse's mouth, they was telling you that they was getting ready to bankrupt the system and come apart with these terrorists and shit, man. Okay, now you got everybody up in frenzy. People getting ready to protest, they're getting ready to riot, and Trump just getting ready to pull out the red carpet from under everybody, which he's doing it through the elites. Because ultimately it's the elites that's giving him the go ahead to do these things, man. Wow, this nigga's out at a golf tournament. You people are paying $15 for eggs and bacon and toast at brunch. Fucking ridiculous. Like I was reading the comment, the dude was like, while all this is happening, meanwhile, I'm wondering if I'm still gonna pay $12 for my avocado toast. And that shit is wild, man, because I was looking up some spots yesterday. You know, sometimes on Sunday, you know, I got the time, I'll go out and have a little breakfast or something. But I was looking at places in the area, and I'm talking about, they got some like a Benedict Arnold, you know, or you got like eggs, bacon, turkey bacon rather, or beef bacon, or beef sausage, or chicken sausage, hash browns, and toast. It's like $16 fucking dollars. Like, why am I paying $17 for an omelet? You see what I'm saying? So it's to the point people are like, you know what? Enough is enough. So what we saw was uproars of the people, because eventually people are going to go to the streets once these businesses are hit. As Walmart now, they're making news headlines talking about the what do you call it? What is that shit called? The DEIS, which stands for what was the equity, inclusion, DEI, because there's a lot of Jake that protest at Walmart and vow not to shop there because, you know, their DEI has been done away with, equity, inclusion, and all this other shit. So, you know, lawmakers are trying to tell Walmart to redact on their stances on that because they can lose a lot of money. But Walmart is a self-giant within itself, so they can take the hit. But what you're seeing is a systematic breakdown. And all hell is getting ready to break loose, man. Okay? Literally, all hell is getting ready to break loose in the streets of America because the people are fed up. All right? So this is an article here, and it says, is the world heading into global recession? Or is the world heading into recession? Because we know that the U.S. dollar, which is the world reserve currency, dictates the pace of these economies and trends and markets, as the stock market has been taking hits for the last, when did this do? I think he imposed the tariffs on them last week, maybe, Monday, I think last week or something like that. I don't know. I can't recall, but he did it sometime last week. And ever since then, the stock market has been taking hits left and right with no sign of recovery. Okay, so it says here, the U.S. President Donald Trump tariffs have ignited wildfires across the global stock markets. But does that mean we're heading for a recession? It says, but the first thing to stress is that what happens in the stock market is not the same as to what happens in the economy. Falling shares on prices are not always means economic miseries ahead, but sometimes they do, right? Because, I mean, the Dow goes down all the time, but yet you still have economic stability. But when people loses their power to purchase and they limit their power to purchase, the economy oftentimes take a hit because your purchasing power is diminished, hence inflation, right? But it says very large falls in stock market values like these mean there have been a fundamental reappraisal of future profits for the companies that make up the stock markets of the world. And going back into 2008 collapse, that shit came abruptly. Okay, I mean, yeah, they was making mention of it in the news, and a lot of guys forecasted it, but shit happened, and bam, before you know it, the next day the economy took a hit, things went up. You know, people was like, oh shit, jobs got laid off. You know, shit, even then, my work hours was, I was working probably like a little bullshit job then, but even then, my work hours was decreased dramatically. I went from getting 35 hours to 35 to 38 hours a week, which in some cases they would consider full time, to 21 hours a week. You know, but at that time I was still pretty young, so it was like, okay, shit, I ain't gotta go to work. But it says here, what makes it quite reasonable expect is that increased tariffs would mean that the cost will rise and profits will fall. Yeah, because nobody's making money anymore. You know, it says that doesn't mean that a recession is inevitable, but the chances are clearly much higher than they were before Trump announced the most severe and wide-ranging tariffs seen in a century. So they claiming this is probably about a worse, because even in the first term, he put tariffs on nations, and there was a trade war between them and China. But as you're noticing, the Asian world, or the Moabitish / Ammonitish world are reuniting, and the Arab world is reuniting against the West, which is the Lord setting the puzzle pieces for the allies to join their respective sides, because this thing is going to directly lead into a conflict, World War III, with the small hats, man, because the scriptures say that the least of the flock should draw them out. And I've always believed that somehow, some way, this economic collapse was going to lead to World War III, hence the microchip. All ties into one big powder keg of folly, so to speak. And this is the time we're living in, man, all right? While Jake is out here playing games with the Heavenly Father. No, man, shit is getting ready to turn up, all right? And it reads, it says an economy is defined as being in recession when a total of everything we in the government spend, export shrinks for 2 or 3 consecutive month periods. But it says between October and December last year, the UK economy grew a tiny 0.1%, and the latest monthly data showed it shrink by the same amount in January. But even if you go back into October last year, they said that only 12,000 jobs was added to the market, which is horrible. So that's not good. But it says the first estimate of how the UK economy fared in February will be released this coming Friday. But so we are a long way of being able to tell whether we have hit that definition. But this is just another way of them trying to disguise it. This shit is finna fall, man. But it says here, however, in the bloodbath of stock market fails, there are some particularly gory and worried casualties. But banks are often seen as proxies for economies. As one well-respected market watcher told me today, the thing that made me catch my breath was the fall in the banks, which that's done systematically because they're going to bring in this digital currency. But it says HSBC and Standard Chartered, which operated at the intersection of the international trade between East and West, were both down more than 10% overnight before recovering some ground. It says other warning signs are not on stock markets, but commodity exchanges, like copper and oil prices are considered parameters of global economic health. Yep. It says both have fallen more than 15% since Trump dropped off his tariff bombshell. And there haven't been many truly global recessions, but in the 1930s, the aftermath of the great financial crisis, which is the Great Depression, and the panic around the pandemic era are 3 rare examples of when we saw synchronized downturns in major economies. Okay, so this place is getting ready to fall, and I don't give a damn how pretty they make it sound. Okay, we're getting ready to see prices go up. Rents are getting ready to go back up. Shit, the used car market. Hey, the last time before the pandemic, last time people was paying a house note on a damn car, used cars was during the 2008 collapse. And used cars went up again during the time of the recession, not the recession, but the pandemic. And now, you know, their used car market is pretty fucked now. You know, so it's not looking too good for Babylon and Grizzy. All right. So anyway, this is the message to Egypt, the book of Isaiah 19:1. And it reads, it says, the burden of Egypt, okay, call it a burden because this place is a burden, it's bitter. And honestly speaking, hey, I can't wait till this shit fall, man, because this is enough. It's time to see you proud ass people of this planet fucking suffer, man. All right. Because you people here in America just alone are proud as hell, man. You can't be told a damn thing. So the Most High got to pull that red carpet from under you, man, so you can fall on your noggin, so to speak. Because you people ain't right, man. Okay, all the shit you got, you ain't get, honestly, you got it through rape, rob, and murder. So this place needs to fall. And honestly speaking, I can't fucking wait. Okay, we longing to see chaos in the streets of Americans, and you people get your just due. And it is what it is. But it says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt should be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt should melt in the midst of it. And we're saying the spirit of the people, they're losing it. Okay, all these, what they call libtards, are protesting in the streets of Chicago, talking about, see, y'all voted for Trump. Even if you would have put Kamala in there, it would have been the same thing. And if you would have put Kamala in there, it probably would have been in a civil war already. Because, hey, popular opinion, what you niggas think, she don't care about you Jakes either, man. Okay, Jake had this Democrat demon on him to the point they believe that the Democrats have always been for him. But believe it or not, Republicans, Jake used to vote Republican prior. Democrats don't do nothing but give you a slow poison, but yet you still got motherfuckers divided on Republican, Democrat, when they're both part of the same fucking bird. And you try to tell people that it goes in one ear out the next because people with that damn brain, they're that damn stupid. But good, you know, let Egypt be your confusion. People need to suffer. I'm tired of looking at you people, man. You people just irk the fuck out the spirit. Irk the fuck out of me. All right, but it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and we're getting ready to see this. Okay, it's gonna get to the point when Chad can't feed his baby, he's coming in your house to get what you got, vice versa. This is why everybody in America, they're armed to the T, because eventually, hey, they know civil war is coming. Like I was talking to the bartender yesterday when I went to get some food, and she was like, man, I don't know, but I got a feeling civil war is coming. And you got a simple-minded bird brain chick like that can see that civil war is coming. But you clowns that wear purple don't speak on these things because you're too busy dealing with fashion show Israelites. Oh, you got to marry you a sister in the congregation, brother. But yet you got the world getting ready to burn down right before your eyes. The only thing you niggas would think about is how fucking crispy your fringes look. That's why all you niggas, man, that call yourselves Israelites, you going to get plunged head first and right into this comic collapse. And the Most High ain't going to defend you in that. And don't come around us when all hell break loose trying to say, oh, you know, brother, I always listen to. Don't come around us, man. Stay where the hell y'all at and y'all figure this shit out. Don't come around us. And that's a stern thing. Do not fucking come around us, man. And I'm standing on that shit. And it says here, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor. City against city and kingdom against kingdom. And hey, these protesters that you see people are going up for Trump and Elon Musk, eventually these people are going to turn on each other because there ain't no honor among thieves, man. Okay, you have a term where they call reservoir dogs. You put the fucking hot dog in the middle and you let all these wild animals, they just devour themselves because they know nothing much. Because America's a very selfish society, man, and people have thrived on the vote of self. It's all about me. I got to get it. You know, not caring about their fellow American, man. All right? Because this society is all about, it's about self, man. It's about self-worship. This is why everybody is so narcissistic here. You know, they feel entitled. And it says here, in the spirit of Egypt shall fell in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. So people are going to psychic readings. They're tapping into their spiritual mediums to try to get some type of understanding as to what the ordeal is. But the Most High is doing away with all that. Okay, you black women and just women in general, you being laid off in mass numbers. You crying because you can't find a damn man. You know, you just miserable as all hell. Like sometime I'll go out and people watch just to read the spirit. And these people are through, man. Okay, these women are fucking miserable. Like, little spot I go to from time to time, man. I go in and I always see some of the same people there because they're regulars, man. But, you know, these two chicks, I don't know them, but I mean, I've interacted with them before. We've had little conversations about shit. And they come in there every week or so, at least when I'm in there, every so often, maybe once or twice a month. And they got the same dry-ass, miserable look, makeup, horrible, eyelashes falling off. Just look completely ran through. You know, and when you try to give them a solution to their problem, or you offer a solution through advice and just common sense, they buck up against it. Okay? That's why I say you lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink. a stupid person, right? Just like, okay, if you keep burning your hand because you put it on the stove, then common sense is to take your hand off the fucking stove so you don't burn it. But see, they've been so conditioned to believe that that's not the way because they're so goddamn prideful and narcissistic in their spirit. They can never even look at the solution as being one of a reputable one, man. You women gonna learn to get back in order. You're gonna be forced to be put back in order. Because a lot of you just finna start getting your heads and getting your wig split. You know what I'm saying? And deservingly so. And, hey, I don't feel bad for any one of you that come up fucking missing on the 9 o'clock news. I don't feel bad for none of you. Because you shouldn't have been out that late any damn way. All right? And it says here, and the Egyptians I would give over into the hand of a cruel lord. DJ. And a fierce king shall rule over them, says the Lord and the Lord of hosts. And it says, and the water shall fall from sea to sea. And we're saying that these tariffs, this shit drying shit up, man. And the river should be wasted and dried up, man. Okay? Your substance, your livelihoods. Hey, people are literally spending 40 to 50% income on rent. Okay? Credit card debt is at an all-time high. People are literally maxing out their credit cards just to live. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt and credit card debt. It's sickening, you know? 2 Esdras 9:1, it says, and he answered me and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Yeah, we're seeing it. Okay. Matter of fact, the haughty people, I think that's Isaiah 24. Yep. 10 and 33 is good too. Behold, the Lord of hosts shall lop the bow of terror, and the high ones of statue shall be hewn down, the haughty shall be humbled, going into the elites. Okay, but Isaiah 24:4, it says, the earth mourned and the earth faded away, and the world language and faded away, and the haughty people of the earth do language. Haughty goes into extremely arrogant or proud. So now these people, due to their entitlement, they feel that they're owed some type of recompense for their labors and right, but it's not going to happen that way because, I mean, you people have sown wickedness. Okay, the scriptures go into you sow wickedness, then you're going to reap the same. The scriptures go into that this world was created for many, but the world to come for few. So this world was you've received the consolation. Now you at the end of it. Okay, and America ain't got that long left. This shit is getting ready to plunge into civil chaos in a minute, man. All right, and we're gonna witness that shit and be like, God damn, like the Lord is getting ready to drop this whole like a bad habit. So just be ready, brothers, man. Just be ready and embrace. Okay, stay prayed up. And it says, therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an the end is manifest. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And everyone that should be saved should be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye believe, man. Okay, doing his work. This is why we're doing the work so fervently, because we want to be exempt from the bullshit that's getting ready to hit this earth, man. Because it's going to be all around us. And it says, then they should be in pitiful case, which have now abused my ways, that have cast them away despitefully should dwell in torments. And talking about you Israelites, it says, well, starting with you guys in the truth, okay? This is extended to people, but, you know, starting with you niggas in the truth. And it says, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. It says, and they that loathe my law while they yet had liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, they understood not but despised it. And this is talking about the common person, 2/3, man. And it says, and the same was knowed after death by pain. So pain is coming to America, man. And these tariffs, hey, this is just the beginning. They're getting ready to see shit on a whole different playing field, man. All right. So anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. The Lord's will you were edified. To the next lesson. Shalom.
Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.
You think is coming is a recession. What your crazy friends might say to you is coming is maybe a depression. You'd be mistaken. Those are lies. What is coming is a collapse of the dollar. You haven't had one of those. We've never experienced the collapse of the dollar, of the world's reserve currency. This will make us Venezuela. Make no mistake. If you want to be prepared, prepare yourself like people should have prepared in Venezuela. Soon, I don't know when, but it will happen overnight. Soon, everything will be collapsing, and the banks will close, and there will be chaos.
And these are the words that the Lord spake